Kindly educate us further, Dr. Bravo. Before you even determine the vaccine efficacy, hindi ba dapat malaman muna natin yung RR, yung risk ratio? How do we compute the risk ratio? Because I understand it is to compute or to determine vaccine efficacy, 1 minus risk ratio. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, sir. We call it R naught or R sub zero. It's the rate of transmission that you get. You'll have to compute it by the number of people at one time who have the illness, and then over a period of time, you are able to compute the rate of increase of your COVID. So if you will notice, it would vary when earlier last year during the time of July, August, when the PMA or when the medical societies asked that we do another lockdown, we were already having a low R naught, okay, transmission. And then suddenly in July and August, from a below 1, we increased to almost 1.5. And there was a big high, there was an increase in the incidence of COVID.
Thank you. With the permission of the Senate President, tinanong ko po yun dahil may nakita kaming data from CDC regarding against Sinovac. Hindi naman natin pag-initan yung Sinovac, but it appears, and the source of the formula is CDC, and this came from the Brazil's clinical trials. Kindly pass that to the screen, yung computation. Lumalabas po, yung 50.41 efficacy, na sinasabing efficacy rate, is not efficacy rate at all, but it is the risk ratio. And to come up with the computation of the vaccine efficacy rate, i-deduct natin yung 0.5041 from 1. So lumalabas po dito, ang vaccine efficacy ng Sinovac is only 49.58, which is below the threshold imposed by the World Health Organization. If you can see on the screen, Dr. Bravo, kindly validate lang if that's a correct computation or presentation. This is vital because I understand from Director General Domingo na nag-apply na yung Sinovac. And this may aid them when they decide whether or not to issue the EUA following the WHO standards. Ayan po yung computation. For comment, please. And also FDA DG Domingo.
Well, this is the standard. This is the standard computation, and I would say that well, first of all, sir, it would really need to see the whole clinical trial, and the experts on mathematical computation would really be able to tell us based on this. But if this data is okay, I mean, it's there. This is a standard calculation, and this would be. We just want to know whether this, as I said, serious, moderate cases, mild cases, these are all being classified, and it depends on what. I think this is something like overall. But if you look at the symptomatic cases, if you just want to prevent the symptomatic cases, it might give you a different figure. Because
you wanted
as I
to
said,
comment?
not everyone.
Everyone is what?
Not all. This vaccine efficacy is being calculated based on all the cases, and even the mild cases, I think, is being computed, and this is what is not, I think, seen in other vaccines. Only the one that we have are symptomatic cases. But this Sinovac is putting out everything from mild, serious, and even those that have been tested in terms of being asymptomatic. So I guess, as I said initially, there will be different figures in terms of efficacy. So it's not easy to compare one over the other unless you have all of these figures at hand. And that is what our vaccine expert panel are doing. And I am just not, the only one who can analyze this. We do need a lot of minds to look into all of this. As I said, it's not easy to just have one figure and say this is it. I'm not so sure
Right.
about, for
So just-
example, the 95% of
Yes.
Pfizer and Moderna that was calculated based on symptomatic cases. But I'm not so sure whether they included all the others, the mild or those that were asymptomatic, when they looked for the positive COVID.
Mr. President, of course, it goes without saying that the test results may be different under Philippine setting. No, ito Brazil po
No,
ito eh. And that's
this
the
was
reason
done
probably
back
why
in
Brazil suspended the clinical trials. And under the Philippine setting, pwedeng iba yung maging resulta. And we'd like to hear from FDA Domingo his comment in this regard.
Salamat po. Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Senator. Yun pong nasa board, generally po, yun naman po talaga ang ginagamit natin. So, magbabakuna po tayo, halimbawa ng 10,000 using the vaccine, tas 10,000 using the placebo. Tapos po, titingnan natin kung sino yung mga nagkaroon ngayon ng COVID. Tapos po, yung proportion or yung ratio ng mga nagka-COVID na placebo ang binigay, kukunin natin sa ratio ng nagka-COVID na binigyan ng actual bakuna. So yun po yung, dun po nila binibase yung efficacy ratio. Yung pong Sinovac, nagsubmit nga po sila ng application sa atin, pero ang nasubmit pa lang po nila yung phase 1 and phase 2 trial results nila. And of course, our evaluation is based on phase 3, clinical trial phase 3. So kung pong yung clinical trial phase 3 naman nila na interim results, makita po na less than 50% ang kanilang efficacy, hindi po papasa yun. Pag naman po nakita naman natin na acceptable naman po yung kanilang efficacy compared dun sa safety, doon naman po natin sila bibigyan ng EUA.